Good morning, friends. Welcome back to another episode of GM Philosophy in the Morning. I'm the GM Philosopher. I'm getting ready to run a 5-session arc for my Discord group. And let me tell you something. I am using a new framework to prepare for these sessions that I'm going to share with you. This is a 3-part framework that is going to change the way that you prepare for sessions. It has changed the way I prepare for sessions. These are going to be the best sessions I've ever run, and you can use the same framework to prepare for your next session. You're not going to want to miss this. Let's dive right into it. As I am preparing to run these 5 sessions, this is going to be a 5-session arc, sort of a mini campaign, longer than a one-shot, shorter than a long-term adventure, right? But I am using a new framework, and I want to explain it to you. First off, planning. Second, simplicity. And third, flexibility. Okay, this may sound a little zany, but hear me out. Let me explain. So first of all, I am planning some very simple goals for every single session. This is very simple. I have a list of things that I want to show the players, things like clues, things they're going to see in the village, things NPCs are going to say to them, etc. So there's a list of things that I'm going to show them, and I'm making a list for every single session so we can check off the boxes. Secondly, I'm going to have one goal for every single session. This is still the planning stage. I'm going to have one simple goal that can be accomplished in a variety of different ways. And because this is a 5-session story arc where the players are kind of playing a specific type of mission, it's like a horror mystery game, then there are plot elements. Every session is going to culminate in a certain type of plot element. Generally, it's going to be an immersive role play moment, or it's going to be a combat. And I am planning to make those very, very flexible in the sense that they can happen almost in any circumstance, regardless of what the players choose to do, giving players maximum freedom and making it very, very simple. I'm keeping them very singularly dimensional. In other words, really only one thing has to go even remotely right in order for these important goals to be realized in the game. And this is how I'm preparing the sessions. This is a very simple framework. So we have our simple goals, a list of goals for things I'm going to show the players for every session. And the reason I'm doing this is because I don't want to miss crucial elements, right? I don't want to forget to show them a clue or something. So this is really important going down the road because they'll need clues for later sessions. So we're going to have a list of things to show them, but we're going to make it simple, simple, simple because I'm going to keep that list short. We're keeping it short to like 3 to 5 things every single session. And we're making it flexible in the sense that no matter what the players really choose to do, players can have full agency. These things can be shown to them. And I'm planning it this way. I'm literally planning, thinking to myself, okay, the players might do anything. They might go anywhere. They might talk to anyone. So how can I make these work without needing the players to follow a specific narrative? That is the key question. So that's combining planning with simplicity and flexibility. Okay. Now, the goal, the combat or the immersive role play for every session could happen in a variety of places, in a variety of different contexts. There is going to be an outcome from it. That's what I'm shooting for. I want the players to be introduced with a challenge, and the challenge will either defeat them or they will overcome the challenge, and thus that will be the outcome. So in this world, there are challenges. There are situations that are going to come up against the players. Players get to decide kind of where and when these things happen because they decide where and when they go in the story. However, they will have to rise to the occasion when these challenges present themselves. Okay. So this is the story part. And when we plan it with simplicity and flexibility in mind, we make it maximally immersive while still giving the players something important and meaningful to do, and letting them do the things they want to do to help achieve that important result. This planned, simple, flexible framework has been really on my mind as I create these sessions, and it has been on my mind as a general rule overall for one big reason. I have come to understand that it feels super bad when players do not get choices. When players are not allowed to create the narrative for their character, it feels very bad. It's one thing to be playing a character and to try something and fail. It's totally another thing to feel railroaded into a story that your character is more like a watcher of than a doer of, or even better, a creator of. And as GMs, this is what we want to do. We want to give our players the power to drive the narrative with their unique character arc. And this character arc is theirs to create. And really, the story might contain a plot arc of some kind. It might contain a conflict or a challenge or some kind of problem that the players might try to solve. However, the actual story is always what the characters are doing, how they're doing it, the shenanigans that's going on while they're doing it, the attacks they make, the spells they cast, the doors they try to lockpick, the people they try to deceive, the people they try to intimidate. These are the things that actually matter the most. And these are the things that will create the most memorable and fun game for the players. And when your players are having fun, let me tell you something, you are going to have maximal fun as a GM, because there's nothing more fun than knowing that your players are having a great time playing in your game. Another thing that I'm doing using this framework, plan, simple, flexible, is using my ultimate dungeon loot randomizer to create awesome custom loot for this campaign. This book contains 10 D100 tables filled with all kinds of awesome loot that you can put into your games. Crazy, fresh loot that you've never seen before anywhere. There are mundane weapons and armor, magic weapons and armor, cursed items, individual pieces of treasure, jewelry, entire treasure chests, scrolls, potions, and elixirs, and all of them have very open-ended descriptions that describe the piece of treasure and loot and what it does. However, it is left open-ended so that you can put your own creative flair on it. You can put it to the power level you want it to be at, and you can put these things in your games either on the fly, random roll them easy on these D100 tables, or you can random roll them ahead of time, or even just pick them out, put your own twist on it, stick them into your games, and boom, your characters are going to be wildly impressed by the flexible, really creative, new types of loot that you're introducing into your games. I am using this. This is actually what I have been using for a long time, but I'm going to use it for sure in this upcoming 5-session arc that I'm planning. And you can pick this book up right now on my Blurb bookstore. It comes in a hardcover or a very, very affordable PDF ebook option for those who don't want to drop a little bit more cash for the hardcover, because as a small publisher, publishing those hardcover books ain't necessarily cheap these days. So I would totally give that a check out if you want to apply some awesome session planning framework to your next loot drop. Keep in mind that at the end of the day, how much fun your players are going to have is going to be directly proportional to how much significant action they get to take to shape the narrative of their character's destiny. And when characters feel like they are given ample choice, ample opportunity, there could be big risks. They might lose some battles. They might lose the game. There might be a total player knockout. You may take all of them out. They may have big odds stacked against them. You might be playing such an immersive game that they don't even realize that one wrong choice could spell disaster. But guess what? That's all okay. All of that is okay. Whether you're playing like a more of a fun game or a gritty, realistic game with high stakes, the ratio of fun is always going to be related to how much choice the characters have in shaping their own destinies and making their story awesome, even if it is short-lived. And so always remember that. And that's where this framework comes from. Plan, simple, and be very flexible in creating your storylines. But creating storylines is important because putting those things ahead of the characters, giving them challenges to overcome, giving them awesome stuff to find, awesome loot, awesome places to explore, awesome people to persuade, to talk to interact with, awesome places to discover. All of these things are part of the narrative. And as a GM, your job in doing that is so crucial too. Just remember to keep it simple and flexible as you plan it out, and let the characters drive that narrative, and you will be running the most amazing game your players have ever seen. If you do struggle with plot arcs on the fly when characters do wild things, you can also pick up my free Ultimate Plot Randomizer. This contains 4 D100 tables. Can you tell I like D100 tables? That will let you random roll plot arcs on the fly, roll the hook, conflict, conclusion, and wild wacky stuff right there. Boom, boom, boom. Put your own creative flair on it, and you will have plot arcs for days. You will never be missing any plot arcs again. You will have them, and you can instantly generate them as your players change course and do unexpected things. Players sometimes do unexpected things. I hope you know this. Being a GM, it's important that you know this. And if you like talking about these things with other GMs, hey, jump into my free Discord. If you love TTRPGs and you love Discord, hop in and say hi. We'd love to have you. we'd love to at least shake your hand and welcome you in and say, how's it going? So that's going to be it for this one. Hey, thank you so much for coming back for another one of my videos. I'm here every day making videos about the best game in the world, D&D. So I will see you awesome people on the next one.